Two out of the three vice-chancellors summoned for the meeting appeared in company of the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, who requested the committee to excuse the University of Lagos. It appears the two vice-chancellors of Federal University Gusau and that of Army BU, according to the chairman Fulata, were also not engaged during the 2024 oversight carried out by the committee.
What are your reasons for avoiding the committee for nearly 2 years?
I was not avoiding you, but due to the circumstances we happen to find ourselves in our situation, in our own environment, it becomes very, very difficult for us to operate. Maybe if the clerk decide to either send it to registrar, this is exactly what is happening. Is maybe 2 days to the time, and we cannot prepare any documents for you. It's embarrassing. It happens twice, Mr. Chairman. I'm not avoiding you. And it's really unfortunate that it happens. I will only apologize that it has happened. Whatever the scenario is never an excuse. It's never an excuse. Mr. Chairman, you have already changed my name. The narration that was going on, my name is already Professor Awakar Pulata. So, people have already joined an issue, and personally, I have nothing against either you or the committee. I do my work diligently. I try to deliver to the best of my ability, but so things happen. Sometimes we are human, we make mistakes, and it does happen. Even when this issue of budget came, Mr. Chairman, you will have heard that yes, you are there, but I'm already dead. I sent my representative, I sent almost everyone that they should come to represent me. I was sick. As that particular day, within that week, I was right inside the toilet, vomiting continuously. I have to avoid you. And it was the following week, I know of that particular meeting. I came, but even then I went back. I went back immediately, and I again fall sick. Sir, between Sokoto to Gusau, it will take me 4.5 hours for me to get across. And sir, I never said you are not welcome to Gusau. Sir, I always welcome people to Gusau because when I see people, I cherish them. Why? Because they come to Gusau. People don't come to Gusau for assignment. Most of the time, people avoid Gusau. They don't go there. So between Gusau to Funtua, in a day, people will be attacked more than 5 times. The last one that, sir, you are saying, my staff were even about to go and deliver the document. But that particular day, that road was blocked more than 5 times. Sir, as I said, I have nothing to say to you. I'm only apologizing that it's not really my making. And honestly, as you see me, an honorable gentleman, if I did it, I will say to you that I did it. But I didn't. I have no issue to respect you as a human being, talk less of the House, the Senate. No, I don't have any issue, sir. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You must have seen even my letter. Many media houses were, even the person that wrote that, I challenged him. He called me, I trashed him more than an hour. Why? Because he didn't consult me. I was not there, but he picked my name, he did this and that. No, no. I can put him on speaker, I can call him now, Bakari. I can call him. He has to apologize to me.
But he didn't say...
Sorry, you know the reporter? The way you
No,
call the name, he appears...
I hold the name. I hold the name because the name was circulated.
Before that report, have you had an interface with...
Not at all. Not at all. I never knew him. I have never met him.
So he lied against you?
Yes. And I challenge him. And that's why I have to... See, the letter you are holding, sir, I have to call my management and sit down with extended management. Because if it is to me personal, I will have allowed it so that you sacrifice me. But it's the system. And that's what I'm worried about. And that's why I have to sit down diligently, look at what was there and follow it, and I reply you. Sir, I call you nearly 2 times. I even text you. Sir, all my effort was trying to say, I'm sorry for all this rubbish that is going on. And that is my sincere statement, sir, to you. I have nothing to say on this, sir. I'm only apologizing because it has happened.
Sorry,
Thank you,
Chair.
sir.
I just 1 or 2 questions for you. There is this unconfirmed report that in the last 1 year you've not attended any NUC meeting in Abuja. Is it true?
Any NUC meeting?
That is meeting between NUC and the university, the vice chancellors. Is it true that you've not attended any of the such meeting in the last 1 year?
Sir, I am not sure about that one.
You've attended?
I'm not sure. I don't know when NUC called meetings. Sometimes you see the meetings are statutory. So if I cannot make it, I will send a representative, whether my DAP or the DBC admin or the DBC academic.
So even the last meeting, the immediate past Minister for State Education invited the VCs for a meeting. You were not also in attendance?
No, I was not. I was represented.
So that means in the last 2 years, you never came to Abuja for any meeting?
No, that is no, sir. I do come for meetings. It depends on the circumstances, sir.
So which of the meetings did you come for in Abuja in the last 6 months?
Last 6 months, well, I can remember the meeting with Minister of Education. Then I can also remember with one with stakeholders of TED Fund. Then I can also remember another one with TED Fund.
So how did you manage to come from your location to
Sir, as I said,
respectfully,
yes,
allow me now when I finish.
Yes,
you answer.
Sir.
So in those meetings that you mentioned,
yes, sir.
How did you manage to arrive,
sir,
leaving your location to Abuja?
Respectfully, sir, most of the time when we schedule activity, and if there is enough time, we book it in our calendar. Honestly, I have to plan. Even to leave Gusau, it will take me a day. I will count that one out.
Okay, let me ask you one more question. Can you remember the first letter, the date of the first letter this committee wrote to you?
No, sir.
You cannot remember?
No, I can't.
Because you are saying that you plan.
Yes.
And I'm very sure the first letter that this committee wrote to you was in 2024.
Sir, that's exactly what I'm saying. If they come, then based on the schedule, then I will just pin it down and say, this one to attend or somebody to represent. That's what we do, because depending on the schedule, sir. I'm not doing it because I want to do. Honestly, it's not for any disrespect to the committee. I said it and I repeated it.
You know, initially when I listened to your opening remarks, you made us to understand that the insecurity nature of your domain does not allow you to come to Abuja whatsoever.
No, that's not exactly what I meant.
And you've also, in the course of answering my question, you've made us to understand that you've been coming to Abuja to attend meetings, TED Fund meeting with minister and the rest, except
Yes.
Except the House Committee on University Education.
2 meetings.
That you've not deemed it fit. to attend meeting.
2 meetings, sir. 2 meetings.
Chairman,
and I said I apologize for those ones, particularly because the chair was so keen. The chair was so keen in mentioning those 2 ones, and I said whatever the circumstances, I'm apologizing for those ones in particular.
Okay.
And it will not repeat itself, Mr. Chairman.
The submission made by Federal University of Gusau was not meant for this committee on university education, but for Senate and House Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Federal University of Gusau, as shown on the letter attached to submission. Accordingly, the information and documents fell short of the requirements of the Committee on University Education. For example, the details on each income and expenditure item have not been provided as requested by the committee. Things such as brand names of equipment, vehicles, or items, quantity, unit price, etc. have not been provided to enable the committee determine the actual receipts and expenditure for proper analysis to know how the total of each item was arrived at. We may need to know the number of the students in that university, in that Federal University Gusau, the tuition fees regime, and other charges paid by students. Also, how many businesses like halls, masts, kiosks, investments, hotels, shops, etc. does Federal University Gusau has, and how much is paid on each, either on monthly or yearly basis, as the case may be. The soft copy of the nominal roll of Federal University of Gusau has not been provided for proper analysis as requested by the committee. Now, however, a careful study of the hard copy of the nominal roll of Federal University of Gusau reveals a violation of federal character principles of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Section 14, Subsection 3, which provides inter alia that the composition of the government of the Federation or any of its agencies and the conduct of its affairs shall be carried out in such a manner as to reflect the federal character of Nigeria and the need to promote national unity and also to command national loyalty, thereby ensuring that there shall be no predominance of persons from a few states or a few ethnic or sectional groups in that government or in any of its agencies, unquote. The continuous spending of IGR by, so you've understood this point, that they are not compliant on this constitutional provision. They have violated the Federal Character Act, which provides that each state of the Federation has an equity share of 2.7%. FCT has 1%. Any other percentage is out of the law. It's a violation of the Constitution. Some of the information submitted to the committee by Federal University of Gusau seems to be cooked up and a copy and paste of data. This is because there are several infractions, inconsistencies that require not only convincing explanations but justifications to prove the accuracy of the data. It was observed that not all the expenditure items of Federal University underwent procurement processes, apart from federal government capital projects and some few capital projects where internally generated revenue, IGR, were utilized. Several expenditures incurred, especially for the procurement of items and programs. No evidence of due process have been provided to cover for the hundreds of millions or billions of public funds expended using the IGR over the years. And of course, we did not see your procurement plan in the documents you submitted. Federal University of Gusau also failed to provide detailed information on all the expenditures incurred using the IGR collections. It is required that each expenditure must clearly provide the quantity, price, model, date of transaction, and other details in order to give full description of the expenditure. However, what was observed that lump sum amount of monies have been allocated to expenditure items. Also appears there is need for providing the details, which is not only important but mandatory to enable the documents speak for themselves and to easily understand, identify and appraise each expenditure in order to ascertain whether the data provided is commensurate with the actual expenditure incurred. This will ensure transparency, due process, accountability and value for public funds. There are also incidents of expenditure using IGR and federal government allocations being repeated yearly. Therefore, this requires justification for procuring some items every year and to ensure they actually exist. The committee may want to know the procurement process method used by Federal University of Gusau for all its projects and programs, specifically expenditure incurred without IGR. There is the need to know if the Federal University of Gusau applies open competitive or selective tendering procurement process or direct labor or its contracts for its contracts using IGR collections for the years under review to ascertain if due process have been duly observed. At this point, I want to point also the excellent provisions of Section 80. Give me Section 80 of the Constitution. 80, subsections 3 and 4 to you. Now, you utilized IGR to augment your overhead without recourse to the National Assembly. And then you now usurped the powers of the National Assembly. That's what you did. You usurped the powers of the House of Representatives, you usurped the powers of Senate, you usurped the powers of Mr. President. You on your own, you are on now an authority unto yourself.
Sir, my hands are up.
Abasa, to explain to us.
No, sir, but this is exactly what it is.
So what happened?
We said this is our projected budget.
Yes.
And based on the projection, we have it there, whether it is IGR, whether it is overhead coming, then we say this is our projected. We submitted our budget to you. Then later on, after approval, when budget is already passed, that's when we start utilizing. As I said, yes, sometimes the overhead, sir, I will give you one example. It's really very difficult for us to operate. The overhead is 12 million.
Too small.
Sir, too small. No. My energy bill for monthly on that alone, I spend more than that, sir. So sometimes, honestly, yes, we may not know how do we now make the system to survive. In trying to make the system to survive, we now check. No, we are not breaking the law because we have already presented it to you, sir. To the House, to the...
You that you have never appeared before the committee.
No, sir, remember this is budget of 2023, sir. No, this is the 2024.
2024 is what we are talking, not 2023.
No, but he's saying they defended in 2023.
We defended it in 2023, sir. That's what I said.
The two vice-chancellors, however, presented 2025 budget proposals, after which members of the committee scrutinized their submissions.
I know your name, sir.
Kiari Mohammed, sir. Kiari Mohammed, sir.
You're a serving or retired military personnel?
I'm a university professor.
Not a military personnel?
No, I'm not.
You appear to take the platform of the parliament to talk down on the parliament. You said 3 of your staff members, very senior officials, were here, and therefore the university was represented.
Yes, sir.
Did you communicate to this committee that you will be unavailable in writing?
No.
Were you aware, or are you aware, that Mr. President has come to present budgets twice, even when he could delegate any other person, secretary to government, minister of finance, anybody. Are you aware that he has come twice?
I'm aware, sir. The president.
The third question is, can any of these three high officials of your university take responsibility for any action?
Yes, they can.
If you say so, then we can dismiss you and ask them to come. If you can be satisfied with whatever they present here, we can do that. Knowing that whatever they take, let me tell you, when people don't understand a system, they should ask questions. If you are within your university system, there are laws guiding your university system. You don't know the laws guiding the National Assembly. And you cannot come here to lecture us that if you have 3 people, therefore the university is represented. We regulate our own conduct as stipulated by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I think that it does not sit well for you to use our own platform to seek to denigrate the House, because that is exactly what you're doing. We are not done with the issue of you not even coming, not even having the courtesy of writing to the committee to say you'll be unavailable. And then you take it that because you push 3 people to us, we must accept it on your own terms. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. We are guided here by rules, and there are reasons why we do that. If we took them, and on any point that does not sit well with you later, there is something called accounting officer. Any of those officials, the accounting officer of the university, can they take responsibility for any kobo you have spent? Your bossa can disburse money, but he can't take responsibility. The responsibility falls squarely on you. And if you are not going to be available, you should say so nicely in writing. And if the chairman and the committee so considers it, so be it. But not to seek to, even at this moment, even after the intervention of Mr. Speaker, you still feel that you were shortchanged. Even if you are a serving military personnel, this is a civilian administration. So, Mr. Chairman, with due respect, I think that I can't sit here and somebody who should be answering questions from us is indicting us rather, and then we'll continue to, if it's not ready for the session, no problem. There are rules guiding all of this. We can turn in our report, even at this stage, to the leadership. And whatever decision they take, we are bound by it. If they say they want to give you 500 billion, if they say they don't want to give you based on the regulations, so be it.
That day, the day the House of Reps were...
Yes, he is here. If he is here, you can make excuses for him. He is here sitting down in front of us. You can't make excuses for him.
But yes,
this is the second time.
If he wrote, even if you are not available, there are tidy ways of,
I think there is a lot of misunderstanding.
There is no misunderstanding.
In terms of vice chancellors, if they are not available for whatever reason, like the Minister of Lagos, I know she had convocation that day. I was supposed to go to the minister.
Why should the Nigerian Parliament give us 4.7 billion naira? I guess Section A is basically personnel emolument of 2.8 billion with 468 million in overhead, which obviously is not enough, and then a capital of 1.2 billion. And Mr. Chairman and members, these figures for this section is an envelope budgeting. It did not emanate from us. So this is the figure we got from the Federal Ministry of Education and the Federal Ministry of Finance. Of course, if I have my way, naturally, I will need to have more money, especially for overhead, given that the 468 will not pay for electricity, water, municipal services, and other services that we run for the year. The rest, what we call the IGR, money we raise from services from students, money we collect from students. Capitation is for the NHIS. Then of course the rest are the projected expenditure. The personnel emolument is, we just took A11 to personnel emolument. Overhead expenditure source from the federal government is still the same as in A12. The IGR is still, we just move them downwards. So capital expenditure is the 1.2 billion proposed by government. What would I have wanted? I would have asked for maybe 4 or 5 billion, not 1.2 billion, if I have my way.
Yeah, so, but the way it works, Parliament only approves if you are able to account for the previous year. So far, through our interactions, you have not convinced us in any way as to why we should increase something for you, assuming that we have funds.
No, we cannot work with this. This is your figures. We are not even sure if this is the figure that was given to you in the envelope.
No, that's the figure.
But we would like, as a committee, we would like to have a copy of that envelope. It's supposed to be attached to this document.
That envelope is not an approval, sir.
I know why I'm saying so. It's a proposal.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President came here with a proposal.
That's right.
Department by department. This document before us is your document. We need to, we need to have a copy of the one that Mr. President presented, which is the envelope, so that we can also compare to see whether there is any typographical error in the document presented before us here. It's possible.
You didn't tell us how you utilized the capital of previous year. You didn't tell us how you utilized the overhead of last year. And yes, you are telling us that the 1.2 billion is too small for you. The way it works, you have to convince the Parliament through argument. This is how you utilize the budget of the previous year. And then you can now justify why you need additional funds. You are talking of 5 billion. But you have not explained to us how you've been able to utilize and manage what was approved for you last year. So this is the issue.
Members queried the proposals brought forward by the Vice Chancellors and asked them to report back in 2 weeks with a detailed 2025 budget appropriation of their respective institutions.